There it goes, leaving the farm. Off it goes.
He shut the door on me.
Aw.
Still shifts hard.
We'll watch him hit that 12-13 gear. Good morning. Yep, that's right. The 8300 is gone. Sold, and new owners came, picked it up on Saturday. I hope they like it. I hope it's as good of a tractor for them as it has been for us. But a little bit of a sad day there. So anyway, today it's beautiful outside. We got nice warm temperatures. So we're gonna do a little bit of work outside. We might get the gator out, go do some field mapping that I need to do, with some GPS, making some boundaries. And I don't know, we're gonna figure out what else. Maybe deliver some seed. Chances of rain this afternoon more, so we'll see. I was hoping our concrete guys would show up. No such luck yet, but that's okay. Hey look, Brock's here. Good morning, Brock. I brought you a spray nozzle. So his job this morning is to clean out our chemical fertilizer containment dike pit here, because well, there's just a bunch of that kind of stuff, and well, let me show you over here. So when Dad made this and poured this, he poured it and put in some really nice channels for water drainage purposes. And so there's a system of channels, and they all come down to this side, and then they run over here. They've all got grade on them, so they flow down into the pit for the sump pump. And it's awesome, but they're all plugged up with crap and stuff in there, and so it doesn't drain off very good. And so I'm gonna have Brock clean all this stuff up, scrape all the crap out of here, all that kind of stuff, clean these channels out so the water will flow better, and that should help make it nicer in here when we're, you know, using this every day in the spring, spraying and planting and all that stuff. Somebody went mudding. All right, so I'm gonna go map some fields. Let's turn our GPS on here and get that fired up. I'll show you the process when we get to the field there. But that's my plan here for a little while this morning. You can see we're fairly dry. I don't know, maybe you can see that, maybe you can't. And it's fairly warm today, so it's a good day for it. All right, so we are going to draw some boundaries around fields. There's several ways to do this. The most accurate and the best way is to put your GPS stuff on the gator. So we've got our RTK receiver up there. The RTK means that it's super accurate. It's using a base station that's on our grain leg over there on our on one of the bins, and then there's a tower on the grain leg that sends the signal out, and it can triangulate that with the satellites to know exactly where we are within an inch. Repeatable. Every year we can come back to the same spot. And so what we're going to do is just drive all the way around this field and draw a boundary, more or less. And so the first thing we've got to do is get everything set up, get it into the right field. Let me do this. Okay, so we get to this menu here, and this is the field that we are in. This is the shape of it. But this is the field where we put tile in last year, and Dad did a lot of dirt work and moving stuff. And in the backfield, he tweaked the boundaries by removing some trees and that kind of stuff. And so we're just going to remap these so that they're accurate and updated. And there's 12.44 acres in it right now. We'll see what it is when we get done. I'm trying to remember, how do we do this? I think we want to create a new boundary. Create a driven boundary. So one of the other ways you can do this, you can do it on this display or you can do it on the computer, is to create it from a coverage map. So we can come in here and plant this, and then I could take that planting map and data and say, let's create a boundary from that, and it'll just draw a boundary around the outside of what I planted. That's okay, but it's not super accurate. So we're going to do it this way. Existing boundary will be replaced. All associated boundaries and headlands will be deleted. That's okay. That's what we want. Okay, so now we're going to tell it that the boundary is 3 feet offset from the center of the gator. So the GPS receiver is right here in the center. We're we're just going to offset it 3 feet, which means it's going to draw the line right outside of where my tire is. And that is what I want. We're going to go from the GPS receiver. There we go. Offset location that way. So right there you can see where it's 3 feet. Yep. Okay. So now we hit start recording. And we're going to drive ahead just a little bit so that it starts something, and then I'm going to hit pause. And the reason I'm hitting pause is because this is a straight line. So we're going to drive all the way to the other end of the field, and if I wander and wiggle and don't drive perfectly straight, it's not a big deal because we're not actually drawing right now. We're just getting to another spot, and then when I unpause it, it'll draw a straight line between those points. That's what we want. All right, so here is the other end of our field. So now we're going to hit record. There's our straight line. Now we're going to stay out of the water, but round this corner as best we can to where we farm to and get set on this line. And then do the same thing. Pause. Drive up here. Now this one we've got a little bit of a standpipe that we're going to curve around, so I'm going to put that into the boundary. I don't really need to, but we'll just hit record. And then ever so slightly jog around it, get back on our line, and hit pause. And so you can see now, hold on, I'll show you when we get up to the corner here. It's too hard to do when I'm moving. And we'll get to this corner where we're gonna turn, right about here. So you can see right there is where we paused it, and it's triangulating it back to where we started over here. So we drove this, we curved this corner, we made that little jog, we paused it again, and now we're up here. We're gonna hit record, and there it drew that line out. Now this field jogs this way, so we make our corner, and again we've got a straight line, so we pause it, keep going until we're all the way around. If you've been watching my channel for long enough, you may remember this spot here. This is where Dad was moving some dirt with our big scraper pans last year, pulling it off from that ditch bank over there and filling in both on our side and the neighbor's side in here. And holy cow, this used to be a swamp, like totally wet, too wet to farm. And there's a little water, but I'm driving right through it and across it. That's a huge difference. And we've got a standpipe here that's right on the line. So again, we're gonna record a little jog around here, and then we'll get up to the corner and make our turn and head back. Now this side here follows the ditch and it curves all along, so this one we got to be a little bit more careful, stay on the edge of the field where we're driving and not pause our recording because we need it to follow all those curves, except for where all this dirt's in the way. What are we gonna do here? Gonna pause it and drive around, but you get the idea. Okay, and we're gonna get back to right where we started here, and then we hit save. So now we're 11.73. Weren't we 12.44 before? We lost a half an acre doing that. Interesting. I don't know where it went, but that's okay. I take that back. I do know where it went. We've got a wider lane here. We used to farm clear out to here, and there's a filter strip along the ditch that got expanded a little bit, especially in that backside. So that's where it is. But that's why I like to redo these, because I like to have good, accurate information. And while losing acres isn't good, it's not really losing acres. I mean, we're not farming it anyway. And so when I'm planting and stuff, having, accurate, and a half an acre or 3/10 of an acre isn't that big of a deal. That's true. What is a big deal is when you have a half an acre over 60 fields, and then you're 30 acres off, and all of a sudden, that makes a big difference. Oh, there's the backfield. I don't remember exactly what my boundary area was before, but it's pretty close to that. So we're good. That's this field. I got one more that I know I need to do, and then we'll see if there's any more that I want to do. Oh, mapping another field. Had a phone call. One of my seed customers looking for seed. Thought I'd come check out the river. You guys remember that drainage meeting we went to the other day? It was for this river. See, they want to take stuff like that out, the log jams, and the stuff falling in over there. And all of that sediment that's sitting into that corner and the erosion that's happening on that bend over there, over there. Like, that's what this was about. Now the water is flowing pretty good through here, so yeah, it is what it is. You can see there's been some rocks and some riprap put in on part of this here to control some of that erosion, but well, the Board of Determinations decided it wasn't necessary, so not going to fix any of it. One thing I did find interesting, so this is the river that we pull water out of to irrigate, and it's elevated a little bit right now. It's not real high, but I mean, it's flowing pretty good. It's not at its low for like it is when we're irrigating out of it. But the USGS, U.S. Geological Society, has a monitoring station about 2 miles downstream, right next to one of our other fields, and you can look up that data. And so I did, and I haven't looked it up today, but as of last Thursday when we went to that meeting, there was 143 cubic feet per second of water flowing through that river. I think that's what it was, 143 cubic feet per second. It worked out to 1,068 gallons per second, which, if I'm remembering my math right, it was like 92 million gallons a day of water going down that river. That is a lot of water. Yeah, a lot. And that's not at its high point by any means. So in this particular field here, the landlord put up some fencing for a pasture for some of their cows and stuff, which is why we're remapping it. We used to farm right up to their manure pile there now, but they bumped it out, squared the field off actually around the building site, actually made it nicer for us to farm, but we're giving up probably a couple of acres here, which is no big deal. All right, we need some seed out of here. Let's see, we need a pallet of corn. It is, no, well, we're gonna take this one next, this one. So we need this one, and actually this one as well. Those three are leaving today, but that one first. So we'll move some stuff around so we can get to them. I have to pull my truck out of the way a little bit. And there's 4 boxes of beans in that row that are leaving today as well. So we'll get them all dug out. Okay, we are loaded up, strapped down, ready to go here. I grabbed a couple of hats, shirts, some stuff to give away. I also, one thing that I really like to do for my customers is print off these sheets. So Golden Harvest provides their, they call them a tech sheet, and just talks about each soybean variety, corn hybrid, a little bit more in depth, gives some of its strengths and weaknesses, talks about where it should be planted, seeding rates, all that kind of stuff. And so I print those off for every variety that they get. Bag of sweet corn seed, and we're off. All right, well, that was an extended trip that didn't need to be quite so long, but that's okay. Brock's here with me. We're going to go together because we're going to go get that tractor. So, Brock, I need those 2 boxes of beans right in front of the forklift, and we're going to put this corn on there. I'm going to wrap that corn up. I bought some stretch wrap because I was out, and we're going to wrap that pallet up so that the bags don't fall apart as we are going down the road. Okay, we're loaded up. Next round. I'm 1 strap short, so we can stop at the farm and grab a strap. Then we'll go. Unloading. So, like I said, this is actually 2 different customers, but it's all going to come here, or they're going to unload it here. It's cousins. Dairy farm, obviously. You guys remember that over there is where we piled some Enogen corn from the silage making video that I did last summer. It was a good one. Go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But they got some more corn, and we got some beans coming here, and it's heavy. He might need a counterweight. Those back tires are not on the ground. Oh, he's good. He's good. Got it down now. Well, we got our seed unloaded, and I dropped Brock off to get our tractor. Sitting over there. So he's taking off. I talked to the service manager real quick just to see what they did, and everything's good. They, I didn't ask him specifically what they did. But they fixed the oil in the antifreeze issue, put new oil cooler and water pump in, kind of preventative maintenance that we had him do while it was up here. And everything else, I think, was good. They didn't do anything else, so we're going to get it home. It would be nice to get it hooked up to a field cultivator and go to the field soon, but, well, it's wet and cold, so not going to happen for a little while. We all made it back. Brock made it. We're just going to go out here and see if we can put it in the new shed, although it appears Dad's doing some work with the backhoe, or maybe not, I don't know. Okay, well, Brock went home. I'm not getting a whole lot of stuff accomplished here, but that's okay. We did get some seed delivered today. It's about time for me to go home. It's been kind of sprinkling, raining a little bit off and on throughout the day, but our rain gauge still shows no rain. So I'm going to walk out here and check it and see if we got something plugging up the little tipping bucket on our rain gauge, and see if that fixes anything. But they were calling for a bunch of rain, and we really haven't gotten any. I don't know if there's still some coming. Most of it went south, but the ground's still dry on top. It's not dry. It's not dry by any means, but it's not saturated and super wet. If we could just miss a couple of rain showers and get some heat, we could get something done. It's still plenty early, but man, it's not warming up very fast. This is our Davis weather station we've had for quite a while. And this little bucket here catches the rain, and I mean, it doesn't look bad, but this comes off, and there's a little bucket in there, and it tips back and forth, and every time it tips, that's 1/100 of an inch. You can see that one is, well, you can't see because it doesn't focus, but it's about 2/3 full, so it's getting ready to. We'll give it a tip just to make sure. Oh yeah, it's all good. We just haven't really gotten any rain today, apparently. So we'll put that back and let her go. Anemometer, wind meter, right there. It works. Temperature sensor in here. Yep, all good. If it does keep drying up here, one of the first things we'll be able to do is some grading and leveling this off and smoothing stuff off. We need to fill some dirt, backfill along the wall a little bit more, layer some more in there, grade this off nice and smooth. The idea was to be able to park some small equipment and stuff, or set some stuff on this side here if we need to. Some of the junk that's over there that we can't get rid of, that kind of stuff. But we'd like to get it seeded down, grass, and make it nice, you know. Okay guys, I'm going home. So I mean, I had a relatively productive day. We got some fields mapped, we got some seed delivered, we got a tractor home, and I got some paperwork done, which is always no fun, but good thing to do and get out of the way. So tomorrow I have to go pick up Brayson in the morning. Babysitter's something, I don't know. She can't watch him tomorrow afternoon, so he gets out of school at 11. We got to pick him up. I've got a haircut scheduled because it's getting quite shaggy on me. So we'll do that, and then I don't know what's going to happen in the afternoon. I don't know what else is going to happen in the morning. I do know we need to get a treater loaded up because Wednesday we're taking that and going to treat beans for one of my neighboring dealers. So that's the plan for tomorrow. That wasn't much of a plan, but it's the plan. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and hit that like and subscribe button for me. Questions and comments, leave them down below. See you tomorrow.